So now that you've sized your canvas in Google Drawing, it's time to start adding the shapes to break up your picture. So as we talked about in our History of Mosaic slideshow, most mosaics are traditionally made with space in between each of the smaller pieces, right? So traditionally, mosaics were made of glass or stone, and they had these spaces in between each piece so that you could see the grout lines between. So we need to think about that when we're creating our mosaics. So the tool that you're going to use in Google Drawing is called the Polyline tool. So if you click on, in the menu, if you click on the line tool right here, you're gonna scroll down to Polyline. What that's going to do is it's going to allow you to create shapes freehand. So I would recommend zooming in to your piece so that you can do it in a more detailed way. The smaller your shapes are and the more shapes you have, the more of an effect your piece is going to have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off on this hairline here, and I am going to make a shape. So as you can see, I have made one line, and now I am just going to make a little shape there. I'm going to leave space in between, and I'm going to start another one, right? So I'm going to draw a line down. This one, maybe I'll do a rectangle. Something that's nice is once you've started adding these shapes in, you can go ahead and up in the menu, you can click the select tool, and that will let you move these shapes around. So as you can see on here, I'll zoom back in, this piece is a little bit too far away, right? I've left a little bit too much space. So I'm actually gonna drag it over, and now you can see they're closer together. I can also use the arrow tool on my keyboard to move it over. But now you see I've moved it over a little too much. So I'm gonna move it back to where it was. And when you wanna start adding color, this is what you're gonna do. So I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see it. So you would click on the piece using that select tool, and then you've got two tools here. So you've got the fill color tool and you've got the border tool. So for the fill color tool, I want to use a color that's just like her skin tone, right? And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to use custom color. So I'm going to click custom. It's kind of like a peachy tone. So I'm going to try that. And that looks pretty similar to what I need, right? So then you can decide if you want to keep the border like black like this so you can kind of see it around it to help yourself, or you can get rid of the border by making it the same color as your filled color in your shape. So I'm going to click the same color so now I can see here that it's the filled shape, right? I'm going to do the same thing to this one, change it to this color that I made, and change the border. Obviously, it's going to be harder for you to see at that point. So I would probably only change the borders at the end.